Hello students, we are going to discuss the 44th assignment of class 8th for the subject English Literature. We have chapter number 7 and the name of the chapter is Health and Purity. In the present story, the author takes us into the future world when man will be able, with the help of genetics and science, to create a population free from all the diseases and epidemics which cause pain and diseases to mankind at present. Now the story takes place during the after supper drinks, that means the meal taken at night. When the octogenarian meets a person who is between 80 to 89 years old, that is the grandfather of the boy, he starts to tell the story to his grandson. The grandfather tells Crawford, that is his grandson, that how the changes took place in the world he lives today. Crawford said to his grandfather, "Dad didn't explain before he died." Explain means he didn't told him in detail. Then the old man nodded. Nodded is to lower and raise one's head slightly. Then the grandfather tells the boy only for his information, because there is nothing anyone can do to alter, means to change the course of what is yet to come about. So he starts with his team of 4 members, in which he is the last survivor. Survivor here is the one, that is the grandfather who is still alive. They were the postgraduates in the subject biochemistry. Molecular. Molecular is related to molecules. Molecular biology. Genetics means related to origin of genes. And virology, that is the study of viruses. And social evolution. They were permanent non-teaching staff granted by the university as incentives, means as the motivators. Then Crawford brought another cup of lemon tea for the grandfather. The grandfather tells that unofficially, that means informally, they had separate grants. And so he tells grandson that they succeeded in health of the species phase. Dozens of specially engineered viruses into the general population. He talks about the viruses which infected people but without the symptoms of flu virus. No one knew there was an epidemic. Epidemic is the widespread of infectious disease. And it happened when the virus is sterilized, means disinfected. Anyone who lacked certain genes, those people could not reproduce their genetic code. Now, 30 years after releasing those viruses worldwide, 0 cases of diseases such as diabetes, hemophilia, and dozen other diseases existing in anyone 25 years old or younger. Everybody today has perfect vision, strong teeth, and clear skin. The grandfather tells this to Crawford. Now, on hearing this, the grandson was surprised. Then soon the grandfather told him about the other phase, and that was purity of the species. Phase. The approach was almost the same as the previous one, but this time the viruses disinfected, means they sterilized anyone not carrying certain genes combinations that describe their racial, means relating to their race or culture, characteristics. And this is why the grandfather told the grandson that you see all those different looking types of people seen in books and videos by not seen on streets. The grandfather meant that those different looking types of people seen in the videos and books are not with us walking on the streets along with we as we are walking because of the purity of the species phase. And he explains that today we are one people, one race. He talks about the counter virus, which counts bodily functions and then act. He gave example if one of them count successful implantation of fertilized eggs in woman's womb, so the other phase would count the cell division and then it will act accordingly. The grandfather told his grandson that due to this, your father died last year because he was 65 years old and this virus kills anyone who reaches that age. Now, the grandson expresses a shock that due to this, the world's population dropped severely from past since many years. And suddenly he asked his grandfather that how is he alive as he was almost 90 years old. Then the grandfather tells the grandson that he also built an antivirus one dose along with the virus. After this, Crawford went in front of the mirror and started admiring himself. He started muttering himself that everyone will look like him. And he asked that is there any other more phase of the virus? Then with a sudden laughter, the grandfather left us with his reply of redimensioning means changing the shape of something, redimensioning of the species phase. So students, this was an interesting story of health and purity and about how the world has changed from the past years. Hope you have understood the chapter. Thank you students.